This is 50.com. We out here live in the Live Nation offices. Sitting towards my left, we got hip-hop legend, honestly, super mogul, still active. I don't know how you find the courage to be in this game. Jermaine Dupri.
What up?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm looking at your mic like I gotta get it. I guess I got mic on.
Okay. Yeah, you got your mic on.
Okay, right,
you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, where's my mic?
Yeah.
But POW TV sitting to my left. Where do you find the drive to continue to be in this business and always the passion, the hunger every day?
Why, my game is to try to find a hole that ain't nobody else in, you know what I mean, or to find a lane that ain't nobody else in. So then, that's the drive. The drive is that I'm in my own lane doing something. So I'm trying to, bring that to life as opposed to like competing with somebody that's doing it. I think that's where, that's how I continue to keep finding that energy that you're talking about.
You ever got to that point like, I've made my money, I got my accolades, I got my awards, my family's good, I can gracefully bow out? Has there ever been that point where you're like, I'm done with this, or?
Nah, cause I feel like it's still so much that I have to do. It's still so much that I can do, and there's still so much that I look at other people that's been in this position before that have done more than me. I'm still sitting here like, man, I gotta get to work. I got a little bit more to do.
Yeah, for working with a lot of kids like early before they blow up and everything. So like, how do you feel like that all these like 19, 20-year-old rappers now are getting like hated on, like the Yachties and the Uzis by like?
Well, I mean, I think that they have to be more educated. You know what I mean? They getting hated on because people are throwing shots at their lack of education. You have to be educated. I don't think that like when Yachty said that he didn't listen to Biggie or Jay-Z or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I didn't misconstrue what he's saying. I understand that he's probably too young and it wasn't effective in his in his DNA. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, to be a great artist, you have to have somebody that you look up to or something that's great that you pay attention to. Right, so that right there is a lack of education. Like these kids are just jumping in the game and not educating themselves. They just doing whatever they got to do. Which is, I mean, if that's what you want to do, then cool. But at the same time, you got to know that hip hop is not a sport that's supported by or supported. You don't get the support that you want in hip hop if you're not educated. It's just that's how hip hop goes.
You started with a lot of talent from jump, even from the early 90s. When you see the older generation not embracing them, even musically, do you ever reach out to your other peers and say, yo, give them a chance? Like,
nah, I mean, because I'm a part of that cloth that Yachty's a part of. I came from Atlanta. Nobody in New York didn't care about nothing that I was talking about. Like I remember coming up here and it's like, I couldn't get an interview. I couldn't get nothing. Niggas was like, yo, South, y'all niggas whack. I'm like, damn, like this was tough. So I come from that same cloth. I was young. I was 19 when I made Crisscross. So I was young. It wasn't taken serious. I was from the South. I was, that was called country. So it was, you had to do what we got to do. That's why I know what I'm saying as far as the credibility and the education. Like at some point, it was just like people had to be like, "Yo, this dude JD knows what he talking about." It's not like he not just out here just doing whatever. Like if you start checking my record, you can see. You know what I mean? It's just like even when I start DJing as a real DJ in clubs. People was like, yo, JD, you just gonna start DJing out of the blue. And I'm like, nigga, I've been DJing, like, you better check what's going on, right? But that's what I'm saying, like, you gonna always, I mean, some people that don't have people try them. People always try me. They always seem to try me. And what's always defended me from them trying me was the fact that I have the education, that I educated myself to a point where, when you're educated, it's nothing that nobody can do to you.
in all honesty, you, Outkast, and Deion Sanders put Atlanta on the map. Let's just keep it real, because nobody was checking for the Falcons before prime time, and you and Outkast was really, cementing your town.
That's what's up.
Now Atlanta has become the hip hop Motown. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
As a New York, I could say that. When did you notice that this shift of dominance started from your hometown? When you're like, whoa, we knocking different.
Well, like I said, I've been coming to New York. Before Hot 97 was even on the air, I was coming here and, trying to get records to Red Alert and Chuck Chill Out. And, Red played, he gave me a little spin here and there, but they wasn't really, like, receptive to what was coming from a different city. New York was just like New York, New York. So when I put out Bone Crusher and the Young Bloods, and I turned on Hot 97, I was like, oh, shit. It's changed. Something has changed. And when you hear, I started hearing Bone Crusher on the radio out here so crazy. I think Hot 97 was playing Bone Crusher more than Atlanta. So it's like that made me,
Yeah, then they had the reggae remix.
I really felt, and then I put Jada on there so I could get a little bit more of that juice going in here in New York. But that at that point, and it's crazy because I think one DJ somewhere was, because I had my street team running around out here in New York going crazy. And one of the street team guys said that they ran up in the club and the DJ was like, yo, if you coming in here with another one of them South records, I'm not playing it. So you could feel like the
shift.
You could feel you know what I mean? So at that point, that's when I felt it.
You got your new show, The Rap Game. How did this come about? Why did you produce a show like this?
Well, The Rap Game basically is a snapshot of like everything that has ever happened in my career. If I took Usher in and we created My Way album, the process to create that album was basically what you see on The Rap Game. Like I taught him how to dress. I'm writing his songs for him. A lot of it is more extensive still than what you actually see on the show because it's a competition and I don't get to actually help the person. But it's still, the idea of it is that you get an opportunity to see what you probably heard about.
The run Criss Cross is on, does the run Ray Shremmer have right now, does it remind you of like the run that Criss Cross had? Like,
no.
Not at all?
No.
How come?
Criss Cross was a phenomenon.
Definitely.
There's an Oprah.
I mean, it
was on Oprah.
I remember that shit too.
It's a different type of, that's a different thing. I mean, I feel like it's cool because it's two kids doing what they got to do. And, I think they said their name backwards and that's, I think those are the things that make people think that. But when people ask me that question, I'm too close to it to see it was a phenomenon. Like Criss Cross had people actually dressing like them. They had people wearing their hair like them. They had people. It was just a whole. It was like
and they had the greatest dance. Who couldn't jump?
Yeah.
If you was 500 pounds, you're gonna jump. If you was 10 pounds, you was gonna jump.
It was a difference, and they had a record that was, their record was #1 on the, even though these guys did have they had a #1 record as well. I mean, it's just a different vibe, you know what I mean? And Criss Cross was younger too. It was a younger thing. So when people say that, it's like Ray Shremmer's audience is a little bit older than Criss Cross.
Let me ask you this. Bow Wow recently said that he wanted to retire at 30. Have you spoken to him and be like, yo, you got way more left?
I speak to him every day. He's with me every day, but
Okay.
I can't. It's hard to say that to him. I put Bow Wow record out when he was 12.
Yes.
What other rapper do you know has had that longer career?
LL probably be the closest because he came out. 16.
Nah, LL stopped a long time ago. I'm talking about straight from 12 to 30. I don't know another rapper. It's not another rapper that you can name that's had that long of a career. So, I mean, how much longer do you want him to rap? From 12, his first single came out when he was 12 years old. Like, he sold 3 million records at 12.
I mean,
what do you want him to do?
But, people are giving him slack because you're right. I don't disagree with you
I'm
at
just
all.
saying, I'm saying from his perspective,
What else?
you gotta look at it like, hip hop is like a challenge game. Like people ain't gonna do nothing but continue to keep challenging him, and either he's gonna go worse or it's gonna get better. 9 times out of 10, it don't get better. It just, you know, I don't know if it can get better than selling 3 million at 12. Like, not by the way, I don't know if that could be better than that. It's like, you know, so I think in his mind, he's just looking at it like that. Like, yo, I've been rapping a long time. Like, Bow Wow was in Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice video when he was 5.
Yo, wow.
You know the kids jumping on the couch in that video and they like, Bow Wow, that's Bow Wow jumping on the couch. He was 5 years old. He's been doing this forever. Like, I don't know how much.
Years.
I don't know how much longer a person you're supposed to do it. If you can get out of it at 30, then get out of it.